Working at Homeboy Industries gives you a lot to think about. And a couple Sundays ago, Saturday night ago, I was at church at our Saturday night service, and as the preacher was giving the homily, I started thinking about how close his homily message was to life happens here at Homeboy Industries. And I want to share some of that to you in my perspective of the homily and my take on it. And so really the sermon was about the Transfiguration of Jesus. It's the episode in the New Testament, right? And then that in the writings, Jesus is transfigured and becomes radiant in glory upon the mountain. And really it's about then God declaring that Jesus is his son. And I think what's interesting to me is that the lesson of this is that Jesus himself is the connecting point between the bridge between heaven and earth. But the more relevant part of the story that I want to share with you today is that what happens sort of after this and leading up to that moment in the Bible. And so in this story, I want to talk about the apostles, Peter, James, and John, who were with Jesus on the mountaintop when he was transfigured. Right? And the lesson here, the take is that up until that point, the apostles, the followers of Jesus, were believing in him and seeing his miracles. But there may have been some doubt. Was he really God? Was he really the Son of God? Was he really going to become God? All those things that lead us all to doubt something that we don't understand really well, right? And so, obviously, in that moment when God declared and Jesus became radiant, that they saw it for the first time. And so, the question is, why didn't they see it before? And did they not see it before because they were thinking small? Not thinking big? Were they bound by everything that they've kind of experienced in life and couldn't imagine something being different? Did they kind of view themselves as, well, he's a man, I'm a man, that type of change can't happen, anything else? And so here's my connection point to Homeboy Industries. For here at Homeboy Industries, for the folks who have come through that door, and I've seen many in the last 3 years, folks come through that door and transform their lives in a really significant way. And so when that happens, those folks like you, folks like all of us, somewhere along the line they started thinking big. They weren't trapped into thinking small. They weren't trapped into thinking that as they grew up and they were told they were no good, that they were going to be no good their whole life. They weren't stuck in the mode of being told in society that they can't move ahead, they can't move beyond. To move past all that, you need to think big. You need to dream big. You need to dream big for yourself. And so the apostles in that story couldn't see beyond it until they were shown a sign, until they bear witness to Jesus radiating on that mountaintop. We here at Homeboy Industries, we get the fortune enough to witness every day the transformation that we see. We see folks like ourselves come in who have been demonized and broken. And we see folks like ourselves change because they've taken that step to think, I can be better, I can do more. I'm not going to be bound by what my family tells me. I'm not going to be bound by what my friends tell me. I'm not going to be bound by what my neighborhood tells me. And it's that type of thinking big, dreaming big, wanting to do more, which leads to the change. And so for me, again, Homeboy Industries is all about seeing the specialness of transformation. And that specialness happens every day. And I encourage you, really strongly encourage you to so much dream big, think ahead, don't get stuck in the small way of thinking. And so I like to think as God declared that Jesus is his son and that the apostles bore witness, that we all bear witness to transformations happening here every day. And these transformations are a true sign that there's God's goodness in us and that we have been inspired to be better and think in a bigger and better way. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Erica.